Hello and welcome to another episode in my Warhammer 40k Conquest series. In this episode we will be recapping on how to paint your Reivers, all the way from the basic lead belcher and blue combo, straight up through to the Mephiston red, the Rakov flesh and the Bugman's glow. So, I'll see you in a sec. Oh, and I'll be doing this while I'm watching Game of Thrones. No spoilers. So what you want to do is make sure that you got a nice even coating of the cracked blue, and then you want to start filling in areas with Abaddon black. So remember, use your palette, wet down the paint, do a couple of nice even thin coats and take your time with it. If you need to swap brushes so that you can get into the little gaps, then do so. There's no real rule that says that you can't. So while you paint, I'm using a medium base brush at the moment, but I might swap to the medium layer or to the small layer, or I might go to the start brush. If yours is still in good nick, then you'll be able to use that as effectively as possible. So you want to paint in the bits in between the armor, like back of the joints, the cover of the bolt pistols, and the pouches as well, and the scabbard. And then with the chaps with the helmets, you want to paint in the eye lenses so that we get that shading effect for when we put in the red. Okay, so once you've done the black and it's nice and dry, next bit is Retributor armor. So what we want to do is do all the little details, such as the skull and crossed swords on the chest, like so. Remember, if there's a bit too much paint, you can always just rinse your brush and dab the excess off. Oh yeah, the shoulder pad trim as well. Don't worry if you make mistakes, remember at the end you can go back over any mistakes with the cracked blue. Okay, so once you've done a couple of layers of that gold and on the scabbard as well, we're going to be using lead belcher next. So for this we're going to do the grenades, some of the side bits on the face like so, the details on the bolt pistol, the sword as well, and if you see any buckles on the belts, like this, take it easy. Like I said, if you make a mistake you can always go back over it. And then you got these little buttons now and then, I like to do those, and these sockets as well. And then of course, I forgot to do, well, what I do is once I've finished doing the lead belcher, I then go back to the blades and I do the guard and the hilt gold. So don't worry, I haven't forgotten about it. You can also do the exhaust vents like so, and it depends, if you want to you can also do that bit. Okay, alright, so once you've done that, so you've painted all the gold and silver details, next step is to shade it. So we will be using XL shade on all the gold areas and non-oil on all the silver areas. So make sure that you don't put too much on all in one go. You want to put it onto your palette so you don't spill it and you get more control over how much you have on your brush. And then you just have a go. There we go. Like so. And just apply it to all those gold areas. Instant shading. Alright, so while the washes are drying on the gold and the silver, you can grab some Bugman's Glow, make sure you thin it out, and paint the skin carefully, making sure you don't have too much on your brush. If you've got too much, you can always just get rid of it, and again you will need a couple of layers. Once you've done that, next is Mephiston Red. Now, as you noticed, I painted the entirety of the helmet gear silver because I didn't want to put this chap as the unit champion. As you see, he doesn't have the skull on the scabbard. Instead, this chap has, and he's also got this arm which has the additional gear on it. So this will be the one to have the edges painted red. You also want to paint the wax part of the awesome moment, and very carefully get a nice point, hold all your fingers onto each other and the model, and just leaving a little bit of black around the edge for additional shading if you can. I'm gonna butcher that. Okay, let's do the other side. So with all your fingers touching on the model and together on your other hands for steadiness, you get a nice point, not too much paint, and you just do a little line like that. Okay, try not to go up to the edges too much, because then you can use that black as a bit of shading. So don't worry if it doesn't look perfect. It's all about how it looks from this, this distance rather than this distance, because you're not going to be looking at it that closely on the table. You're going to be looking at it quite a distance away. Right, and then once you've done the red bits, oh no, not that one. You do rack off flesh for the oaths of moment, like this, blah 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 blah. But also, very carefully, you want to do the skull face mask, like so. And of course, this will take a couple of layers. Yeah, just take your time with it, there's no rushing. So as you can see, it looks pretty damn good once you neaten up. So what I've decided is, like, I don't mind getting a bit messy while doing the base paint because it's the base, and then I can always just neaten up afterwards. It's not a problem at all. It's when you get to the layering and the highlighting, that's when you want to be a bit more neater. Okay, so welcome to the community focus, and right here we have some amazing examples of what you can do with your Reivers, whether you follow the guide or whether you want to do your own scheme, or whether you want to take it a little further and actually complete the entire model. Whatever you choose, there's some fantastic inspiration right here. So we'll jump right in with Robbie Andrew Raynor, and he's got what I can assume to be his Silver Templars, which they look really good. It's very effective, and I like the fact that he's done the base the way he has, because it helps bring in a little contrast there. So can't wait to see how the rest of his army looks. Moving on, we have Stuart Mooring with his Ultramarines, and if you have a look here, he's done a fantastic job of using dry brushing to highlight the models, and almost, and maybe some stippling as well, but it's very effective, and it really does give it that little extra dimension. So yeah, again, that's really good work there. And then Garthy, the legend, he's a big show off. So here you have him with his nice diorama, 3 Reivers facing off a massive horde of Poxwalkers, and yeah, they just look fantastic, like the rest of his army does. George Wright, he's done a great job here. I believe these are Space Wolves, and I got him to post another picture because those eyes look fantastic. So here we are, right here. Look at that. It's a nice cold blue, and there's a slight glowing effect that he's done there, just around the edges. So thank you very much for posting that. Alright, there we go. And we've got Dominic Miles. He's also posted before. Now it does look really bright, but he did say that he had to intensify the flash, which sort of brought out the green a little bit more, because he said it does come out a lot darker in natural light. But I like them how they are, really. They look like they've been out on a rave, you know, they've had a good time, and now they're ready to either commit or you know, chase down heresy, you know, whichever you believe the Dark Angels are up to. And of course he's done like different markings on the helmets for some of the chaps there as well, like over there, the second to the left, and the one on the far left, and the one on the far right. They look really cool, so thank you for posting that. And then Chris Reddy Radcliffe, he's posted before. He said it's not finished yet, but he's still got like the base and a couple of bits to do, but it's a really good example of what you can achieve when you are painting along with the subscription. So yeah, thank you very much for posting that, and I can't wait to see them when they are finished. Sam Lucas, he's done a great little thing here, right? He's replaced all of the helmets with the old Corvus pattern armor, and it gives it a really unique look, but it looks absolutely fantastic. And he's added like a few extra bits and pieces here and there to make them look sort of extra, sort of like they're out on the extended mission or something. So yeah, no, that's really cool. I really like that. It was a nice little surprise. And then we got one from Scott Riven Bennett, and he's got a very interesting colour scheme coming along here. I don't know if he's going to keep that white there, but if he does, it'll look fantastic. So he's got like a slight bronze and red look going, and he's got logos going there as well, and they look very menacing. So yeah, and then I had to stop it there, otherwise the video would have been too long. So thank you very much, guys, for posting your pictures here, and of course there will be further opportunities in future issues when we go back to touch up different details on the Reivers, so don't worry if you did miss out. So I believe we'll have to leave it there. So thank you again for watching the video. If you haven't subscribed already, please do, and that little bell icon next to it as well. That way you'll get the notifications for when I post my videos. If not, then you can always have a look in the comments, not the comments, the description below, and I've got all my social media links there. So if I'm doing one of these chats where you can dump your pictures, show them off, and see, you know, let everyone else see what you're doing, then just click on those and follow me there. So you got my Facebook, you got my Twitter, and you got my Instagram. And yeah, that's it. So yeah, thank you again for watching, and keep on painting. Peace.